Hi everybody, it is Dana Brigman of the Canine Coach, and I am happy to chat with you tonight, hoping some of you will join me and take interest in learning a little bit more about how you might be able to save some money and to give your dog some of the very best products available for their health and well-being. And so I'm going to walk through a few things. I was thinking that I could see comments, and I still might be able to. So if you have questions or comments that you want to add, pop them in the comment section, and I will try to answer questions as we're moving through the discussion. Me and Facebook are not great friends when it comes to live, but I'm trying. I will work on it, and if you guys can help, I'll take it. So I know when I started using essential oils and the supplements and stuff, I was very skeptical about things. Once I got over the quality and really learning that these essential oils and these products can be extremely helpful, then you start looking at the price point and you think, oh my goodness, that feels really expensive. Some people get really squirrely about the cost of the starter kit, and we'll cover that in a few minutes, but I want you to know that if you did start with what's called a premium starter kit, you were getting about a 50% savings over retail value. And that collection of oils has the ability to basically touch every system of the body, getting you off to a good start for really starting to make some transitions into wellness protocols and wellness support for your animals and yourself for that matter. But price point has always been something that is sticky to me. I, even as a kid, my mother said if she allowed me to go into the little store, the little market that was down the street from our house, and I had $1 to spend, that it was a requirement for me to come home with change. That I would not spend all my money, and if I couldn't get something that was less than $1, then I wouldn't spend any money on it at all. So I have always been frugal, if you will, and sometimes a very tightwad, very tightwadded when it comes to a number of things. So trying to understand where, when you're looking at some of these products, they can feel expensive, especially going in, especially getting started. Where is the value? Where is the real value coming from, and how can you start to justify it? And I think that shows up in a couple of ways. One is the value to me, first and foremost, is the quality of the product. I have found none better. And I have tried. I have bought other products and tested them, experimented with them, and do not find the same quality of result. So quality first and foremost. Secondary is that price point. And so I sat down, and I've done this multiple times over the years, but I wanted to walk through it with you, and I hope you will bring your questions and we can do some active comparison. You can say, hey Dana, I use this product. What's the comparable product that might exist within Young Living, and how does that come into play value-wise? But I sat down, so you've heard me say many times that I recommend to all my kibble feeders and all my home prepared cooks that you supplement your dog's diet with a vitamin mineral supplement, a digestive enzyme, a probiotic, and an omega-3. And for those dogs that are predisposed to joint health issues or are already showing some signs of stress in that area, that we have a good joint supplement. So I did some comparison. I looked at the Mighty Vites from Young Living, and compared that to Pet Honesty, which is one of the more common brands floating around out there now. There are others, and you can do some comparison, but you got to look in the range of quality. And so even if you think about kibble foods, we know that there's this broad range of quality. I cannot come out ahead beyond with anything other than Young Living. It is the best quality that I have found. Okay, but if I look at Mighty Vites, Essential Enzymes or Essential Zymes from Young Living, Life 9 from Young Living, Omega Gies from Young Living, and what is now our new turmeric supplement. It's brand new, released last week. And add all of those up, I come to a total of $217.50 that you could be spending on those products. That's not necessarily 1 month's worth. Some of these products have 90 to 120 of the little caplets or gel caps in them. And so I did a little fancy math and said, well, how much is it per item? And what does that come out to, right? So it came out to $87.75 a month on average. On average, okay? Well, some people are going to be like, that's great. That's too much, right? What I need you to understand is the value piece of being what we now call a subscribe and save member. You've seen this on Amazon, right? Where you can subscribe and save and get an additional discount or a coupon code. Being part of the subscribe and save program now in Young Living means that you are basically committing to buying this product again in the future on some schedule. It does not have to be every single month. But when you do and you start making consecutive purchases of at least $100, you get free shipping and a percentage of the value of that product back in points. Okay, so the first 3 months, 10%, 3 months through 12 months, 3 months through 24 months is 20, and if you stay after that, it's 25%. So I've been on it for so long, and I accumulate points very fast. But let's say you spent $100 and you got 25% back in that point. Suddenly now you've got 25 points in the bank, and you just, the value of the products that you just acquired was 75, because I banked 25 points as a result of spending that $100. Okay? So when I looked at that same list of products, the vitamin mineral, the digestive enzyme, the probiotic, the omega, and a joint supplement, I went out and I looked at Pet Honesty, Dr. Marty, and for the joint, I looked at a Dasaquin product. And I added all of those up, and guess where I landed? Around $215. So if you go back to where I started this, we landed at about $217 on this first spend of those products out of your Young Living account. So not far off from the same base amount, but I'm not getting my points back, right? I'm not accruing points for having spent in those companies. They're not giving me this subscribe and save loyalty program where I'm earning points banked to use for other products in the future. Plus, you're having to shop around. You're having to go, well, who's got the best one? Is this one on sale? Blah, blah, blah. And there's a lot of effort to that, but you're buying a little bit from here and a little bit from there and a little bit from somewhere else perhaps, and maybe for some of you, chasing quality, trying to figure out who's got the best quality and is it really working and did it work for you? Was it right for your dog? You know, all that kind of stuff. Well, that's where an additional value, an additional benefit from being in your Young Living account would be it's one-stop consolidated shopping. You have a coach like me. You have a team of people who are also using these products that will talk to you and tell you how they've used them, how they've worked, how they've come up with creative ways to implement them, and all sorts of approaches to maximizing the purposes, the benefits of these products and the ways in which they can be used. And you get to share the same products that you're giving to your dog in most cases. So now if your dog's taking a regular supplement and there are things that they need to take every single day, then you might need a bottle and he might need a bottle. But for those things especially that are more in the first aid category or the as needed category, you just start to create your collection, whether it's oils or supplements, and you pull them off the shelf when you need them or when the pet needs them. And those can be things like, I'm going to flip over here, those can be things like the insect repellent or Parafree, which is, we do a protocol for Parafree that I take at least once a year. We're supposed to do it quarterly. I'm not always good about doing that, but at least once a year. And then I do a similar protocol that's less product for the dogs, but it's the same product. So I don't have to go buy multiple things, and yet we are supporting our systems of the body in very similar ways. Inner Defense is another one that I keep on the shelf all the time. I use it when I have to go out and be in a public setting where there are lots of people or people that I don't know, and I feel like I need to come home and make sure my immune system has been protected. I use that for the dogs if we've had even to go to the vet's office, which, knock on wood, I haven't had to do in quite a long time. But if I went to the vet's office, we have sick patients at the vet, right? So I might do that. Or if I had a show dog or a competitive dog, that's something that I would want to have available and use on an as-needed basis. Muscle rub. Having that as a product that I can use and the dog can use is a great thing when we need it. And so that again allows me to create this collective buying power of purchasing products that are accumulating those points that I can use for other things. Awesome. There is a third benefit to that, in that Young Living also has a gift with purchase program. So if you're on Subscribe and Save, you get an additional incentive. But everybody, whether you're on Subscribe and Save or not, has the potential to, when you spend, when you make purchases and you purchase at certain thresholds, say $100 or $190 or $300, for example, Young Living tosses extra products in your box. So each month they choose what those incentives are going to be. They are seasonal. They are always timely for the environment or the time of year, or like this month, everything is targeted at the men or the male figures in our life for Father's Day. May was targeted at moms, and so there were great oils and great supplements targeted at women. Most products are interchangeable. So don't think just because it's Father's Day you're getting something that you couldn't use if there's no man in your life. You might be able to use it for your dog for that purpose. But those gift with purchase, they tend to add up to about a 50% savings, or 50% value, should I say. So in other words, if you spent $300, you get about $150 back in free product each month. And it's products that you can use. It's not some, oh, let's give them something that, you know, nobody likes. It's great stuff. And it's part of how I get a collection like this. And again, seeing that value of, I spent $300, but I got $450 worth of stuff, that's pretty amazing. That will not happen if you are buying your products from Amazon or Chewy, or a little bit here and a little bit there and a little bit yon, right? It doesn't happen that way. The other benefit that I mentioned earlier is the education, the resources, the people that will then stand by and help you with questions, and they are sharing their experiences and how they're using products and asking questions, and you'll see something and you go, I had no idea that would work. I had no idea there was an option for that. And suddenly you're learning something new and interested in applying it to yourself and thinking about, okay, well, what's next? So looking at this from those points of view of the value of the product, the value of the collection of people and resources and support that you get, is second to none. Absolutely second. You won't get that anywhere else. And in no Facebook group that I've ever been in, ever, and I'm in a bunch of them, are you getting the kind of education and support about products and things that your animal would need or you would need than you get in these educational groups as being part of the member, part of the team, okay? And then the value of the up to 25% points earned based on what you spend, and an additional gift with purchase incentive based on what you've spent. Friends, that's amazing. That's how my shelves are full. My closet in the kitchen is filled with supplements and sunscreen and CBD rub, for, you know, all sorts of things, right? So it's really, really amazing. So I'll also share with you that, I mentioned I'm a little bit of a tightwad. I like to analyze the savings and the cost and the whatever. And I've done that for a whole bunch of stuff over time. Mm-hmm. It was not so long ago that I said, I like to put drops of cinnamon essential oil in my Ninja Red drink. So I make the Zing drink and add some Ninja Red to that, and I like to put drops of cinnamon in it. So that is my replacement for a soft drink, my replacement for a glass of sweet tea or a glass of wine or any of that kind of stuff. And it is my special treat to myself. I like it. Well, cinnamon is not inexpensive, and so you're thinking, well, wow, the cost of this drink gets kind of pricey because the Zing is a couple of dollars, the Ninja Red might be a couple of dollars, and then cinnamon, a 5 milliliter bottle is $25.75. Well, you got to stop and take in mind, okay, I'm getting 25% back off of all of that, and my gifts with purchase, and things start to feel better, and suddenly that drink is only about $3, right? And some people go, oh my God, you're spending $3 on a drink that you just have every day or every afternoon. Yep. How much did you spend on your Starbucks? How much are you spending when you drink a glass of wine, right? So it all really is about where are we choosing to invest and where are we perceiving and realizing our value. But I did a little comparison shopping. There's only one other essential oil brand that I might ever even consider, and I'm not naming names here, but it is not the mainstream. It is not the ones you think of. But they have a 15 milliliter bottle of cinnamon essential oil for $39.90. So that comes out to $13.30 for what would be the equivalent of 5 milliliters. So price point, by the time I get my 25% back, is about a $6 difference on the bottom. People feel like that's still a lot. So I confess, I ordered a bottle. I ordered a bottle to try it. And I thought, you know, I'm not using it for anything other than the flavor, really. Although great cinnamon essential oil has a lot of benefits. But I thought, well, I'm just using so much of it in my beverage. Let me see what it's like. It does not taste the same. It is not nearly as spicy and as bold and as rich and as benefit. I can't say about the benefit, but it does not taste the same. It doesn't even smell the same. So that takes us back to this whole quality value issue. But again, I just want to be transparent with you that I explore these things from time to time and do this comparison work. So other places, sorry, my hair, and I'm looking in the mirror the wrong way. I can't figure it. There we go. Other places that where you're really going to start to see the game change, where you're really going to say this value of the gift with purchase and the value of this subscribe and save points accumulation really starts to pay off and become something pretty effective is when you move into this ditch and switch world, right? When you say, when I run out of cleaner for my kitchen or my bathroom cleaner or my whatever cleaner that I'm using, I'm going to buy a bottle of Thieves cleaner. Now people look at the bottle of Thieves cleaner being about 14 ounces and panic when they see the price point. They're like, oh my God, that's crazy expensive, right? If you compare it to a bottle of Fabuloso that you spent a whole $1 for at the Dollar General, yes, it looks ridiculously expensive. But when you break things down, ounce for ounce, nothing is less expensive than Thieves Cleaner, which is coming out about 5 cents. That's 1 nickel per ounce. And you can clean every surface in your house. Every surface, the floor, the granite, the tile, the windows. You can do it all based on how much or how little you dilute. Okay, I use it for everything. I use Thieves Cleaner if I have to go to the shelter to clean my feet, my shoes. I spray them off before I get in my car. I don't want to bring shelter funk into my car. So I spray Thieves on my shoes, and then I take my shoes off outside, come into the laundry, and then everything gets clean from there before I ever come into the house with my dogs. So there are so many ways to do that. When you really start thinking about all those ingredients we keep talking about that are in your laundry soap or in your dryer sheet or in your shampoo, and you say, I'm going to start replacing those products. As I run out, I'm just going to buy for myself. I'm going to buy within my account, get my points accumulated, get my gift with purchase. That really starts to have momentum and build, and that's where you really see the biggest benefit of all in this collective buying power, right? That's where the magic starts to happen. When I buy a bottle of laundry soap, again, people look at it. It's a small little bottle, and they think, oh my goodness, my bottle of Tide or my Gain looks 4 times bigger. Well, go look at all the ingredients that are in there and why you shouldn't be using that. but know that I can turn my laundry soap bottle into no less than 3 bottles of cleaner. It is that concentrate. Some people choose to dilute it even further, and I think I could, because I'm not out in grease and grime and stuff, but I am out with sweat and dogs and all that comes with that, so I tend to keep mine a little more concentrate. But I can take 1 bottle and turn that into 3. Again, my thieves cleaner, I can get down to 5 cents per ounce. So I can make those big bottles of spray cleaner, or I can turn it into mopping solution, or all sorts of stuff, right? So really think about the collective buying power of these products. I'm going to stop for a second and fire up a second copy of Facebook and see if there are any questions. So while that's happening, no, it's not Facebook's, Dana. Here we go. So I mentioned a few minutes ago some of the shared products that we can have on hand that we use with our dogs. And again, that might be Parafree, Inner Defense, the insect repellent, the Animal Sense ointment I absolutely love. Just because it says Animal Sense does not mean you can't use it. I use it when your face gets a little too sunned, right? Too much sun on it, and you need to soften and soothe it and that sort of stuff. Rub it on oils. If I get, listen, dogs scratch and bite as puppies, and it leaves little marks, and you know, sometimes the boo-boos are worse. What do I use? The Animal Sense ointment on me. So I don't have to have a second set of first aid products or a second set of stuff that's one for me and one for the dogs. I can use all of these things together. If I want to do a liver cleanse, and we do around here, my dogs get it every spring, so do I. We use the same products. That might be Juvaflex, Juvatone, Ledum essential oil could be used as part of that. If we have those so-called insults to liver, Ledum, I'm yanking it out, and we're, you know, if it's something that I know exactly what it was and I'm not too worried about it, I'll deal with it sort of as a first aid thing. If I think it's serious enough to head to the vet, I'm still using my essential oil in the car on the way, trying to do as much support to the dog's body and wellness as I can, based on what I believe to be the incident we're dealing with. I mentioned earlier, a lot of people are using golden paste. Young Living just came out with what's called golden turmeric. I can buy 1 little jar of that. We take half a teaspoon, even for the humans, right? Half a teaspoon. So that jar, and I think I said earlier, that jar is coming in at around $39.75. That jar's going to last a while at a half a teaspoon, or maybe even 1/8 of a teaspoon for Poppy, and maybe even less, just a sprinkle for the dogs. That product is said to be now 24 times more bioavailable than turmeric alone. Bioavailable means more absorbable, better used by the body. And it's been proven time and time and time again that having essential oils in our supplements makes them more bioavailable. It allows the essential oils to go in, do some magic, which is really about clearing the receptor sites and allowing those supplements to be better used by the body. Other things that are pretty common to have on hand that can be used for me and the dogs, one of them that I like a whole lot is the chest rub, but it's based primarily in eucalyptus. So I could use eucalyptus essential oil, or I could use that chest rub. And I'll tell you why that's relevant to me. Huey, who's probably in the neighborhood of 16 years old now, developed some sort of cough last year. And it was almost like this reverse sneeze cough thing all in one. And if I could get eucalyptus to him, then he would stop. I had him checked out at the vet to make sure there was nothing obstruction in his throat, nothing happening from the heart that would create this cough, that this was just part of being a small weenie dog who is aging. Well, long story short, I use this chest rub, and I literally get the tiniest little dab and just swipe it under his neck, and he stops. And then he's getting the benefit of the respiratory support from that product throughout the rest of the day. We have, over the last number of months, pretty much diminished that issue altogether. It happens far less frequently than it was. Why? I think because we have supported his respiratory system in a way that was not reactive. I mean, of course, we were responding to the fact that this was showing up, but we allowed the body to have some of the supportive care that it needed, and those muscle systems, whatever it is, has started to relax again and not take him into that state of that reverse sneeze. So, works beautifully. The CBD muscle rub, wonderful thing, right? I can't tell you how many times I have used it after a tough day training, or, doing something. None of us are as young as we used to be, right? So you're like, sometimes you just need a little extra. But even if Poppy, for example, has a big play date, or the weenies seem to be a little stiff, we are using the exact same product for the exact same purpose. And I don't have to have multiple versions of that. So I can use the CBD Calm. I keep that in the car, keep it in my purse. I can't tell you how many times I have used it for myself when you're thinking, oh, I've got to make a phone call I don't want to make. I got to deal with something that's really difficult to have a conversation about. Things are stressful, whatever. Or then you're riding in your car and you see Poppy get a little bit stressed out over, those things that are on the very edge of the road, those rumble things that tell you you're about to run off the road. She hates them. So that stresses her out. So I'll bring out the Calm roll-on and rub on her. Or if Howie gets agitated, he's almost 18. If he gets agitated in the evenings, I can put a little swipe of that or a swipe of the Tranquil roll-on on him, and he is nice and settled. So we're all using the same stuff. That's the power. That is the beauty of all of this. So if you have questions, I would love to hear them. And if you're not watching live, you can ask them later. But we can create a custom collection for you based off of what is currently known as the basic starter kit. That's a $25 one-time thing, gets you into this wholesale pricing. And you can say, Dana, I want to focus first on the cleaning products. I want to focus first on that CBD muscle rub you're talking about. I want to focus first on the fact that my dog is having some digestive issues. What can we do? So there are a lot of things, and we will customize and figure out according to your budget where you start, and then move you into all these educational groups and resources and things that are going to help you learn and help you take advantage even more of the value that I keep talking about. But if the starter kit is right for you, again, that is about a 50% savings off of the value, the original, even the wholesale price. Actually, I think it's based off the retail pricing, sorry, of those oils. They are full size. They are not samples, except for You get a little thing of Thieves spray. You get 2 ounce, which is the daily dosage of Ninja Red, and there's some other. What's the other shampoo? Oh, you get the Thieves spray, 2 Ninja Reds, a diffuser, and 12 essential oils for $165. Those oils include Stress Away, Valor, Frankincense, Copaiba, Lavender, Peppermint, Raven, Thieves, Peace and Calming, Lemon, Citrus Fresh, and Diagnose. And every single one of them is used by you and your dog. They can be used in combinations. If you were to call me and say something's going on, we have at least a couple of things to start with, to start offering support to any system of the body, to everything that's going on. It might not be the one that I would say, you know, I really wish you had this, but it'll get us started. And again, Dr. Nancy Brand and others always say, if you only have one oil, use it. For me, that would be frankincense, right? Get out the frankincense, use it. You can use the Valor for courage, confidence, the skeletal system. So I use that a lot when I'm going into a dog training lesson. I use that a lot when I have to make some of those very difficult phone calls of people that you just don't want to have a conversation with, and sometimes that's family, right? Stress Away, Copaiba, no household should be without it. I can put it in their food. I can put it on their muscles, on their joints, on mine. Really start to create some relief in those areas that we use it on. I can pair it with many of these others as a layer or into the ointment, for example, right? I can diffuse any of these. Raven is very much in that respiratory area. Lavender, very much in the calming and for skin wellness. Thieves is all the things, all the things that we need to help with supporting the immune system. Okay, we'll just leave it at that for compliance reasons. Peace and Calming, exactly what it says. And that is a winner for many dogs when it comes to stressful situations, when the thunder starts to roll, when fireworks are taken off. Using Peace and Calming, going into the vet's office can be extremely beneficial. Lemon, a natural detoxifier, natural cleanser, natural anesthetic, antiseptic, to cleanse, and we can put it in their water or in their food and start to help cleanse and flush the systems of the body. Citrus Fresh, very similar, but that can make your house smell super great as well. But it's got a multitude of citrus oils in it, which are really great to just make you feel uplifted, to feel bright and confident, and to raise your spirits a bit. Diagnose, my house will never be without it. I have multiple bottles and I keep it. It is for that digestive system when we've eaten too much, when we've eaten something we shouldn't have, and things just don't feel settled well. Things may not be moving, or they might be moving too much. The Diagnose is an excellent oil to have on hand for that. So I will never be without it. We had a couple of weeks ago, I was doing a call with somebody who happened to be an animal communicator. And my dog was walking around, he's 18-ish, and he was just uncomfortable. You could just tell he was not settled down. He just was not comfortable. And so, you know, certainly recognizing that he's 18, you think things are changing for him. He certainly doesn't always feel comfortable. There may be some stiffness. The stress of being over there by himself because he doesn't see well anymore. In fact, he's missing an eye and the other one's not good. But he was just not happy. And so I went and picked him up and brought him over. And she said to me, there's something going on with his belly. There's something, that his tummy seems upset. She was picking up on that. And it triggered in my head that I had done it. I was the cause. So he had not eaten breakfast that morning, and I fed him extra food at supper time. So he got an extra volume, more volume than was normal. And so his belly was just uncomfortable. And so I'm like, oh my gosh. So I take out the digest, I put a swipe of it on his belly, and within about 2 minutes, he settled down and went sound asleep. Right? So these are things that I will never be without. And that's one of the reasons that the starter kit is so effective. It's got something for all of us. We can all use the same thing, and something to use for every system of the body to help you start experimenting with and playing around with these essential oils and get yourself into the groups that are going to teach you so much more and open your eyes to the possibility of all the things that are available. And I like to say that there's a value in having access to me. So I want you to be on the team. You do not have to be a brand partner in the same way that I am. There is no requirement for you to share or sell anything to anybody. There is zero requirement for that. Should you choose to, as a groomer or a pet sitter or a dog trainer or any other pet professional or just a dog mama who loves it, I will certainly help you do those things as well. But I want everybody to understand there is zero requirement. And because I think a lot of times that puts people off. They're like, I don't want to sell anything. It did me. When I went the first time, I'm like, I have no desire to do this. I'm running a business. I'm busy. I don't want to do it. Sales is not my thing. And it's still not. But the education is. I like helping people see their dogs get better and feel better and thrive longer. So just clarifying for you that there is no obligation. And even with like the subscribe and save, if you just had a lip balm for a couple of bucks on your subscribe and save, you get the benefit, you get all the benefits, and you can keep pushing that out and saying, I don't want to order anything every month. That's not, I can't do it, can't budget it, need to skip. You will stay in that 10% category of your points earning unless you're spending $100 a month. And then as long as you do that consecutively, you move into the 20% from 3 months to 24, and then 25% after that. If you change your mind at any time, you just drop back down to this 10% and move on about your business. Nobody complains, nobody pressures you, none of that happens. But if you are spending money already, and most of you are, I can't imagine any of you are not. If you're spending money already on products that could be replaced with Young Living products, plant-based products, safe products, alternatives, natural wellness, things that don't have all these wonky side effects for you and your dog, whether that's your household cleaner, your shampoo, your makeup, your bath and beauty, your skin lotions and potions, your hair lotions and potions, CBD, baby, right? So many things. If you're spending at least $100 a month, try it for a while. Just try it. And if you hate it, say I'm done, say I'm out. And you still have great products on hand to use. But I think you will find you will love it, and that there is so much more potential than you ever thought possible. It was for me. I thought, what am I going to do with these essential oils? I don't know what to do with them. They felt like snake oil to me. I had tried oils before and they did not work. But this is different. And I want to make sure you have that opportunity to get you and your dogs on a strategy that is a game changer for your well-being. And I would love to help you do that. So call me, message me, email me, set up a time, whatever you need. I'm happy to talk to you about Young Living, how to get started, some of the questions that you may have about all of this stuff, and which collection, even if it's a custom one, makes the most sense for you. Okay, happy to do that. There is no cost. If you need a consultation about your dog or yourself, that's a different piece of the puzzle. We'll talk about that separately, but you know, in 30 minutes or so, we can have the base conversation that we need to get you started. And if it's more than that, I mean, if there's something else that's going on, then we'll figure out how to move forward. But I'm here to help. If you're ready to get started and you go to youngliving.com to place an order, my member number is 284-1061. You would add that as your enroller and your sponsor, even if you decided to just be a retail customer and buy one single item. That's okay. You still get access. You still get into some of these groups and the education, and you could convert your shopping experience later, right? You could come and go from Essential Rewards as you want to. It's just that easy. So I'm here to help. I'm here to cover whatever questions. I see myself on the other screen and my leg was itching. So let me know what I can do to help you. And again, my primary purpose in all of this is to educate you and to make sure that you have the opportunity to really focus on your dog's well-being. And if there is an issue that we need help bringing back to balance, bringing back to wellness, we will work on it. But I really want to focus all of you on how can you move into this proactive state and use the best products that seem to be out there. And I keep experimenting, I keep looking and trying, and there is no reason for me to leave Young Living. It's that good. So let me know how I can help you, and have a great night.